Good evening. This is ACI 10. We are on class 5. Thank you for joining. Okay, we will start with a mandala. I invite anyone who would like to turn on their camera so I can see your beautiful faces or your beautiful sleepy faces. And today we'll talk a little bit about why we're doing the mandala, but first we'll do the mandala. And I know that Jack is dying to lead us in this mandala prayer. Okay. And I'm sorry. Oh, just you guys should read the italics because the top is the transliteration and it's very hard to pronounce it if you don't know it. So you can read the italicized English. That'll be easier for you. And can you scroll up so they can see the whole thing?
Is it?
No, Idam Guru Ratna is not there.
It's coming.
Oh, it's coming.
Do it.
You're gonna move it. Okay. Okay. All right, here we go.
Also,
Sashi Puki Dikshin Metta Cham Vira Lingshin Inde Kempati Sudesh Tu Mikte Orki Drakun Namda Shiva Jubar Shul Iram Guru Atmamadala Kanyayataya. Okay. Oh, I just stepped on our dog. He's crafty and moved under the table without me knowing. Okay. So, who remembers what we talked about? What day is it? Is today Monday? Or is today Thursday? Oh, today is Thursday. Who remembers what we talked about on Monday? It was a long time ago. I am going to have to start offering $100 to get you guys to answer questions, but not today. 4 powers for $0. Thank you, Olga. Yeah. Topshi, yes, we talked about the 4 powers and um 6 practices. What are the 6 practices that we talked about? Ah, yeah, we talked about 6 different antidotes. It's a good trick when you're a teacher and you don't remember what you taught last class to ask the students, and hopefully Olga will be in your class and be there to remind you. Uh, Also, what's good is when you have just a teacher trick, when you finish early, uh, just tell the students to meditate. Nobody's laughing. Okay, Olga's laughing. Olga, please keep coming to all my classes. Uh, okay, yeah, we talked about those things, and then I promised you that we would go more in depth into the last of the 4 forces. Olga Sanchez. I didn't know your last name was Sanchez. For $0, what are the last 2 forces? You can turn your microphone off and speak. Yeah.
Are the promise? It's because they are not in the same order, but are the
Oh, I know it's confusing because the order is different.
res restraint is the last one, but I don't remember the
Yeah,
before. Yeah,
it's
yeah.
antidote. Yeah,
Anti
it's confusing. Yeah, it's confusing because the order is different. But yeah, it's antidote is the third one. Yempo kuntu chupetop. And the fourth one is restraint. Yepa lelar lokpe top. Yeah, good. Okay. Um, so we'll talk about those and then we'll get out of this depressing conversation about how we're such terrible people, and we'll move on to rejoicing and dedicating and I know my friends are like, woo, other happy, other happy discussions. Okay. Um, I was going to read you a verse from Master Shantideva because I thought it was nice, but it's also depressing. Uh, okay. I was crushed by the mistake of being filled with the arrogance of deluded desire and jealousy, and it kept me from reaching the highest wish of all. Before the protectors, then, from the depths of my heart, I confess every error that I may have made in thought or word or deed.
Put in the chat for us.
Oh, I will put this in the chat for you guys. I mean, it's in the reading, so if you do the reading, it will be there, but I'll put it there for you. So that's Master Shantideva talking about confession and the importance of confession. And I thought arrogance was interesting because sometimes we start to get arrogant around our teachers, which is a very interesting karma, especially if I've seen it a lot, like especially people who spend a lot of time around their teachers, they start to get like arrogant. And I would say, like in my experience, over the last 1,000 years, well, it felt like 1,000 years, but it was 27 and a half years. Um, it's a karma to lose your teacher, actually. And it's actually a karma to see your teacher as someone who doesn't know so much. So the more arrogant you are with your teacher, the more stupid or naive or silly your teacher will start to appear to you, which guess what will happen? Then you'll feel more arrogant. You'll get more arrogant. And then guess what will happen? They'll get more stupid. They'll make mistakes in class. Maybe like they won't be able to hear you, so they'll mishear you, or they'll start getting really clumsy. They'll forget things a lot. I've seen it, and I've seen students have this perception, even of Geshe Michael, which is crazy that I'm having the perception of like Buddha, and this student was having the perception of like Geshe can't hear very well, and Geshe can't remember things very well. Which, if you've spent 5 minutes with Geshe Michael, he has a photographic memory, and like could basically remember what I was wearing to class in 1998. So it's clearly a karma. And then that student, within a year of that conversation, that student disappeared and hasn't been back to class yet. And that was like 12 years ago. So um, I just thought Master Shantideva's choice to use the word arrogant here, along with desire and jealousy, was an interesting choice because why is he talking about arrogance? And that's sort of what came to my mind, especially towards your teacher. You went to your teacher in the first place because you thought they knew something that you didn't, right? You think suddenly they got stupid? You think suddenly because they taught you for a year or two that you know more than them? So I would just caution people who have the wonderful karma to get close to their teacher that this can start to happen, especially because a lama will often like trust students with certain responsibilities or ask for their advice. don't make the mistake of thinking that if the Lama is asking for your advice, that they actually need it. Janet's like, okay, they're asking for your advice because you need the karma. And you especially need the immense karma that comes from helping your teacher. Okay. But don't start thinking that just because they're asking you for your advice, that they really need it. It's all a play for you to amass wonderful karma. It doesn't mean that they're stupid, and you should try to get rid of any traces of arrogance that you have in your mind, because it will block you from learning. Your Lama will become stupid because you made them stupid with your arrogance. So this, I don't know, this for some reason, when I read this verse today, this came up in my mind. So I thought I would share that with you. And I'm the teacher, so I'm allowed to. That's one of the great joys of being an ACI senior teacher. You can talk about whatever you want. No, not really. Keeping to the script, but just going off a little, because I really do think this is important. And because in my many decades, I have seen it happen again and again. There's two types of students, okay? There's the arrogant ones, the prideful ones, and then there's the depressive ones. And the Lama, depending on whether you're the prideful, arrogant one or the depressed one, if you're the depressed one, they'll ignore you, or they'll be really hard on you. And if you're the arrogant, prideful one, they'll just tell you how wonderful you are. They'll always ask for your advice. They'll always say they need your help. And those ones, in my experience, have the hardest time sticking around. The depressed ones, for some reason, are very stubborn. I don't know why. The depressed ones are the most stubborn, and they tend to stick around the longest. The prideful, arrogant ones, they have a harder time sticking around. So if you lean towards arrogance or pride, you really should watch it around your teacher, especially if they start asking you for help and they start asking you for advice. Okay? You should help them. You should give them advice, but you should do it with a humble mind and not, like Shanti Deva mentioned here, not with an arrogant mind. Okay. Okay. So we were talking about confession and this verse also, and our purification, because we're trying to get rid of the things that block us from bodhicitta. So we'll talk about the antidote force, the third power. So the ultimate antidote for a negative seed that we've planted is the perception of emptiness. That's the ultimate antidote to all of our mental affliction illnesses, is to understand emptiness. And it's wonderful news that samsara has an end. This nature of this circle of suffering, that this wheel that we're stuck in, um, even though it's a wheel and a circle, which seems to have no end, it has an end, because the antidote, the thing that cures the disease, is always stronger than the disease, right? Like there's two boxers in a ring, and the stronger guy, faster guy wins, always. If someone wins in a boxing match, it's because they're stronger than the other guy. So it's the same thing with antidote and disease, okay? Um, if you're thinking about emptiness, well, if you're in the direct perception of emptiness, you can't be having a mental affliction. If you're an Arya, can you be having mental afflictions? Can Aryas have mental afflictions? Yeah, Aryas can have mental afflictions, but not if they're in the direct perception of emptiness. And they get over their mental afflictions much faster than the rest of us. And even when they're having the mental affliction, they know that they're being deluded, whereas most of us believe it for quite a while before we remember emptiness. One time, this is an amazing story. I was listening to a Geshe Michael class on Zoom. He was teaching live. I was on Zoom. He was talking about the two husbands in the kitchen. My ex-boyfriend was my boyfriend at the time. He was in the kitchen. Can you guess what happened in the kitchen as I was listening to the story about the two husbands in the kitchen? He started yelling at me. I started getting angry. Geshe Michael's talking about the two husbands in the kitchen. I know he's telling me the truth. I know what he's saying is correct. What do you think happened? I got so angry at the guy in the kitchen. So you can be listening to an aria talk about emptiness and you can still get angry, okay? And this is Mrs. Like, I don't know, I'd been studying for like 24 years at that point, and I'm still getting angry at the guy in the kitchen. As I'm listening to an aria talk about how you shouldn't get angry at the two guys in the kitchen. Yeah, it's great. Okay. If you don't know about the two husbands in the kitchen, I don't have time to teach you, but we can talk about it another time. I should say I don't have time to talk about it right now, but another time we can talk about it. Um, so as I was getting angry at the guy in the kitchen while I was listening to the aria tell me I shouldn't get angry at the guy in the kitchen, I was really fighting the mental affliction. Like I knew I shouldn't be having it. I knew it was crazy. Somewhere in the back of my head, I knew it would be a teaching moment at some point. Uh, um, and I really fought the karma, but unfortunately, the karma for anger got planted, I don't know, a million years ago. And once you feel the anger, it's like trying to rip out a 20,000-ton tree from the ground with your bare hands. It's already ripening. It's too late. But what I was able to do was fight it and tell myself that I was being crazy. And that plants the seed in the future to understand emptiness and to not get angry anymore. But look, when you're being yelled at, like whether it's by your boss or a girlfriend or a boyfriend or whoever else tends to yell at you these days, um, it's a little bit too late. You see, the karma is ripening. So very difficult to be getting yelled at and not have some emotion arise. The karmas tend to collide with each other. Um, so the best you can do is to fight it. Okay, so even if you get angry, if you can remember 5 minutes later, oh, I'm a Buddhist, and getting angry and yelling back at this guy just guaranteed that I'm going to meet this asshole again. And he was being an asshole, so it's okay. That's how your karma is ripening right now. But we don't want to meet that guy again. We don't want to get yelled at again. So we have to remember where he's coming from, and that will plant the seed to not get angry in the future and to understand emptiness better in the future. Okay. So if we really want to understand what the antidote force is or what the antidote is at all, what do you have to understand before you approach the antidote? If you go looking for an antidote, what does it imply?
You know, with the sickness.
You have to know what the sickness is. Like, you don't go looking for a vaccine for a disease you never heard of. Like, I got bit by a dog a few weeks ago. It was a puppy, but I had an open cut on my hand, and I live in a place where there's rabies. So I had to go get 4 vaccines. They were lovely. They had to keep alternating arms. So I got a vaccine every week for 4 weeks. But no, there was rabies in my neighborhood. I wouldn't go looking for a vaccine, right? So you have to know what the disease is that you're dealing with. So Master Shanti Deva says the disease we're dealing with is the 3 poisons. This is the main disease we have, okay? It's a spiritual disease. It's not a physical disease, okay? It's a disease of your spiritual body, and that's why they're called poisons. Okay. Yeah, you can show that. And they cause the 84,000 variations of mental afflictions that we have. There's so many. I feel like I just have like 3 main ones, but there's actually 84,000 mental afflictions. Can you guys see the picture that Jack is sharing right now? I personally can't see it. No, they can't see it, Jack. Oh, there it is. Sorry, our Wi-Fi, we're not in the busiest neighborhood here, so our Wi-Fi is quite slow. But that's a picture of the Wheel of Life, which I think most of you have heard of. Some of you, I think, have not. And I don't have time to go into what the Wheel of Life is, but you can Google it. And Geshe Michael has given many wonderful hours of teachings on the Wheel of Life. But there are 3 poisons that we have running through our mind. They're signified by the pig, the snake, and either a pigeon or a rooster, depending on when the painting was drawn. They are Duchak. Everybody say Duchak. Good. Shedong and Timuk. Good. Duchak, Shedong, Timuk. Yeah. I don't see all your mouths moving. Olga. That's what happens when you put your camera on. Okay. So um so there are some like big misunderstandings. You can take that down in the Buddhist community about what these words mean. Really weird misunderstandings. So I will clear them up for you. So a lot of times dukkha is translated as desire. Like somehow it's bad to like pizza or something. Are you still sharing? Oh, you're stuck. Can you guys still see the screen share? You can, yeah. That's okay. You can just keep looking for a while. There we go. Okay. So a lot of times dukkha is referred to as desire or attachment. Like, and then you'll hear always a Buddhist boy say, "Oh, that girl was too attached to me." It's always the boy. "Oh, she was she was cute and I liked her, but she was too attached to me. So I broke up with her." What does that even mean? Okay. That is not what attachment. I don't even know what those boys are talking about, but they don't understand dukkha. Okay. Like, is it wrong to like things? Are we not supposed to like things? Julie is like, no, no, it's fine. What happens when you become a Buddha? You like everything. So it would be literally insane for us to try to stop liking things so we could reach a state where we like everything. Okay, it's completely illogical. It makes no sense. When I hear this, like, I want to get attached, it makes me crazy. Okay, so I have ignorant disliking towards people misunderstanding ignorant liking. Okay, so, which brings me to the correct translation of desire or attachment, dukkha. It's ignorant. Okay. So these 3 poisons, they're called poisons because they're running through your spiritual body like a poison. They are always with you and they are constantly making you sick. There is never a time, if you're in the desire realm and you're a normal person, that the three poisons are not making you sick. Did you ever wonder why you have never had a day in your life where you didn't have a selfless thought? Where you didn't have a selfish thought. Yeah. It would be great if we had a day where we only ever had selfless thoughts. Did you ever wonder why you've never had a full 24 hours where you were happy? Drug free, may I add. I mean, it's weird. Why can't, why can't I have a day where I'm just happy the whole day, where I don't have like an irritation like a mosquito just bit me on the back, or I don't, have this stupid runny nose? It's because of these three poisons that are running through our body, okay? They're circulating through us all the time. They hurt us. They're constantly with us. And if you can get rid of them, then you'll feel really good. And when you're practicing well, then you should have the feeling that your three poisons are a little less. Okay? Like someone will do something that objectively is irritating, but for some reason on that day, that annoying thing just doesn't bother you as much. Okay, that's like an indication that the poison is a little weaker that day. We had a thing happen with our good friend, our good dog friend Wilbur today. We were at an event that was, I don't know, 6, 7 kilometers away. I think that's like 3.5 miles away. And this dog followed 3.5 miles to this event. He just walked behind them. We're like, that looks like Wilbur. That's Wilbur. How did you get here? So he hotel, they left him to hang out with us. And I thought, oh, I hope they bring. And then those two people left. They left him behind. And then we were stuck with having to figure out how to get Wilbur home. And we live in a place where there's no taxis and it's very rural. And we had to put him in like a tuk-tuk. You should Google what a tuk-tuk is. And it was hilarious. And Wilbur had the best day of his life. But we were like, it was very interesting the reaction we had. Wilbur just loved it. Wilbur was so happy in the tuk-tuk and really the best day of his life. He really amazing for Wilbur. Great seats. Um, but at first we were really annoyed with these two people who just dumped this dog and didn't bother to have responsibility. Oh, is it okay? Is the Wi-Fi okay? Okay. They didn't take any personal responsibility. And we had this annoyance. But then about 15 seconds later, we were both like, we had the opportunity to take care of Wilbur today. And we had the opportunity to step in for an animal that no one in the world cares about but us. And then we felt really happy. So the three poisons started off strong and then they got weaker. And the reason that they got weaker is because I remembered that I was teaching a class on bodhicitta tonight. And my friend also remembered that they were taking this class on bodhicitta. And so we were very excited to be able to serve this Wilbur being. And we weren't even annoyed with those other people anymore. So bodhicitta is a great, it's not the antidote to the three poisons, but it does a lot to suppress them. So it can help you if you're ever feeling resentful that you have to help yet another person because no one else is showing up. Take it as a gift because it will help you to reach bodhicitta faster. Okay. So back to ignorant desire, Duchak here. You didn't, like I said, you didn't come to this class to learn not to like things. Don't, right? We came to this class to learn to love everyone, not to not like anyone. Okay. So never think of Duchak in that silly way. Okay. So I'll give you the technical translation of desire. It's a little long, but I'll give it to you anyway. It's a thought that doesn't want to lose something that seems nice, but is actually impure. So it's a thought. It's a thought. This thought doesn't want to lose a thing. This thing seems like it's a nice thing, but actually it's not a nice thing. So it's like enjoying honey on a razor blade. Honey's great on its own. It's sweet, it's tasty. You can use it to make icky things taste good. But if you put it on a razor blade, you still want to lick that honey? No, because it'll shred your tongue to bits, right? So we're going to talk about impure, what the word impure means. So in Tibetan, the word for impure is sakche. Everybody say sakche. This is a really, really, really important word for your Buddhist life. It will come up all the time in the mixed nuts classes. People are always confused about what sakche means. So I'm glad we get to talk about it. You have a picture for it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
Theoretically, our PowerPoint will show up. I'm sorry, the signal has to go to outer space. It's a little slow.
Is it you? Yeah. Okay.
But considering it goes to outer space, it's very fast. Okay. So the word sakche means impure. And you see she's wearing a really nice white shirt, but then she gets a stain on the shirt. You see, so it's something nice, but then it gets dirtied by something not nice. Like the honey is something nice, but then it gets made not nice by the razor blade. Okay? So this refers to anything that has to do with a mental affliction. Okay? So you like, I don't know, Geshe was talking a lot about pizza in this class, and I really miss New York pizza. So, you buy your friend a slice of pizza. It's a good deed, right? I mean, assuming they're not vegan, it's a good deed to buy your friend a slice of New York City pizza, right? It's a good deed. Yeah, everybody is going to agree with me. It's a good, their cameras are off. I'm deciding you're all agreeing with me. Everyone agrees it's a good deed to buy someone a slice of pizza. But if you're not thinking about emptiness, when you buy your friend the slice of pizza, then we would say it's sakche. It's a dirty good deed because it's imbued with ignorance. What does that mean? It means the karma will wear out. Like you bought your friend a slice of pizza and maybe it'll ripen 10 years from now as 12 slices of pizza, and then you'll eat 12 slices of pizza. I swear maybe I could do it. And then and then you get sick, and then that's the end of the karma. It's not a karma, it's not a deed that goes towards your enlightenment. It's a good deed that wears out. Okay? A deed that goes towards your enlightenment is not sakche, it's sakme. It's pure. That's a pure good karma. You were thinking about emptiness of the pizza. Maybe you thought about the emptiness of yourself. Maybe you thought about the emptiness of your friend. Maybe you thought about the emptiness of the act of giving the pizza. And you just put that pizza karma in the bank towards your enlightenment. So we don't want to waste our time dedicating the buying of the pizza to more pizza. It's just stupid. Oh, it's just not like it's a dumb way to invest, okay? Um, you could invest in something with very few. I'm into investing these days. I like invest $5 at a time, okay? I should invest more, but I like small bets. Okay. So we should invest our good deeds into something that's going to grow really big, like Buddhahood, where you can just manifest yourself as a pizza and manifest yourself as eating the pizza. You'd have limitless pizza forever. And don't waste your time dedicating the buying of the pizza to getting more pizza. Okay, if you dedicate it towards your enlightenment, you will get more pizza. But guess what? Everyone in the world will get limitless pizza. So it would be more intelligent to think about emptiness when you're engaging in a deed and dedicating things towards your enlightenment rather than dedicating things towards, like, I want more money. Wouldn't you prefer to have limitless money or to live in a world where you didn't need money? Okay, so that's how you go from sak che to sak me. Hmm. So just one more time. Sak che means something turns bad because the karma that created it wore out. So anything that's dedicated to something other than enlightenment, that karma will wear out. Okay. And we don't want our good karmas to wear out. We want them to grow and grow and grow. Okay. So what does the emptiness of a pizza mean? Oh man, I really want pizza now. I should talk about the emptiness of something else because I cannot get New York City pizza. It would take an actual miracle, and I'm going to be very sad now talking. Oh my God, I would I would give $100 for if someone could make a slice of New York City pizza show up to my house. It would take a literal miracle. Uh, Here we are. That's my example. So what's the emptiness of that slice of Cherry? Go have a slice of New York City pizza for me if you're not vegan today, please. Just someone should enjoy it. What is the emptiness of haha, yeah, good try. Thank you. What's the emptiness of the pizza? Yulia's going like that. That's more the dependent origination of the pizza. The the emptiness of the pizza, it's a negative, okay? The emptiness of the pizza is any pizza which is not coming from how I treated other people in the past. What's the dependent origination of the pizza? Yeah, the dependent origination of the pizza is the fact that the pizza is coming from me. So it seems silly, like one's a negative and one's a positive, but it's very important because first you see the dependent origination of the thing. First you see, and it's much easier actually when you think about it. Oh, the pizza's coming from me. That's dependent origination of the pizza. There isn't a single slice of pizza which isn't coming from me, is the emptiness of the pizza. And that's a negative, and that's very important for understanding emptiness. You should never think of emptiness in terms of a positive. If you're thinking of emptiness in terms of a positive, you're most likely thinking of the dependent origination of the pizza. And that's fine and will take you very far and is very important, but it's not emptiness. Okay. Hmm. So if you understood, um, if you understood that there wasn't any pizza in existence that didn't come from how you treated other people, would you ever race to the front of the line and push someone out of the way to get the last slice of pizza? No. If you understood the emptiness of the pizza and you were sitting around with a group of friends and there was one slice of pizza left and you were really hungry, would you ever take the last slice of pizza? We're all really a little crazy because when now the second to last slice of pizza has become the last slice of pizza. You understand? Now no one wants to take the second to last slice of pizza because they know no one will take the last slice of pizza. It's very funny when we all get together. Actually, then you're like, God, if I take the second to last slice of pizza, like there's this AITA on Reddit. You guys know AITA on Reddit? Am I the asshole? People write this like thing on Reddit and they're like, I wouldn't let my dog sleep in my bed, but my wife loves the dog. Am I the asshole? Now it's like if I take the Buddhist version is I took the second to last slice of pizza AITA. Um, it's silly, but it is a sign of people's growing morality, and it's good. Okay. So if you understood the emptiness of the pizza, you wouldn't have ignorant liking towards the pizza. You wouldn't be willing to hurt someone by depriving them of pizza by taking the last slice of pizza. Okay, that's ignorant liking. That's attachment. That's desire. That's not like, oh, the girl liked me too much and she was too attached, and I don't like getting attached to people. That literally means nothing in terms of Buddhism, okay? So you can all stop talking like that, and you can tell your boyfriends to also stop talking like that, okay? Or your girlfriends. Everyone, equal opportunity here, okay? We're going to stop talking about being too attached to people. It literally means nothing, okay? Okay. So generally, we misunderstand the object of the thing we like. Like we misunderstand the boy we like or something, or the girl we like. We want that thing. We like the girl. We like the boy. And then we're willing to do something to hurt someone else to be close to that boy or that girl. Or we can talk about llamas. This is fun. We misunderstand where the llama is coming from. We think the llama is self-existent. We want to be near the llama. We're willing to shove the other students out of the way so we can get their place in line, so we can be close to the llama. Or we're willing to just be louder than everyone else so the llama hears us before he hears the other, or before she hears the other student, because we want the llama to love us. And then you can fool yourself into thinking you're doing it because you want to get enlightened. It's it's insane, okay? So we don't ever want to behave that way about anyone, around anyone, okay? It's only going to plant a bad seed. And if you get to talk to the llama that day after you shoved someone out of the way, do you think that's the cause for you talking to the teacher that day? No. Good. I don't want to ever see anyone behave like that. And it can only happen if you misunderstand the llama, okay? Or anything else in your life, you're you like really want this lipstick and you run to the MAC store and there's only one left and you see someone else heading for the lipstick, but you run and try to get the lipstick first. We don't want to be those people. That's misunderstanding where the lipstick is coming from, okay? So if you understand, we're moving on from pizza to lipstick, okay? If you understand the emptiness of the lipstick, you'll never do something like that to get the lipstick. Okay. So this is important, okay? Why do our bodies get old? What's the cause of our bodies, of having a body and then having a body that gets old? I just told you the answer like 5 minutes ago. I gave you the Tibetan word for it. Sakchekile. Yeah, it's dirty good karma. Our bodies are made from Sakchekile. Our bodies are made from dirty good karma. Okay. And that's why we get old. That's why our body wears out. And that's why we die. Okay. So then it becomes critically important that we collect sak. Megile. Yay, Sag Megile. Very good. We want to collect pure good karma so this body stops getting these wrinkles. Unless you like the wrinkles, and then go ahead, good, it's great. You'll keep getting them if you like them and you're planting Sag Megile, you'll keep getting wrinkles, and that's wonderful. If you don't like them, then you can stop them with the Sag Megile. Where do you think Botox came from? Really? Really? Where do you think Botox came from? If you're a person who wants to get Botox, it came from some people's sock makey lay. My friend in Los Angeles told me I could get Botox right here. She was looking at my forehead. She's like, you could get Botox. I'm like, I earned that wrinkle. Okay. Okay. Hmm. So what's an intelligent response to something that you like? Like you get a piece of pizza and you're eating the pizza and it tastes good. What would be a sock makey lay way to respond? I don't know if I can use the word that way, but I am. To respond to the pizza. If you're enjoying something, like what would be intelligent wanting or intelligent liking? That's one way, yeah. You could give more, you can give some of it to other people. I have a habit, it can be annoying to my friends, actually. I always give them some of my food if I like it, because I want more of it. Okay. It can be very annoying. I'm always putting things, I also give them the food I don't like, though, to be honest, so kind of hard to know. But I want more of the food, so I always give a little bit away, even when it's really, really, really hard, like delicious chocolate, which is hard to come by here. I always try to give some of it away. Um, so um, intelligent desire, intelligent liking says that you should enjoy the pizza or the cupcake or whatever, and then you should remember where it comes from. Hmm. So just remember, what seed did you plant to get that delicious pizza to begin with? And also, you can rejoice in your virtue. Like, I'm eating this pizza so that I can help more people in the future. And if you've taken bodhisattva vows, you already have this commitment. You can't partake in clothes or pizza or lipstick or petting a cute dog unless you have helping other people in mind. Okay, and then I want to talk about the word equanimity. Hmm. So, equanimity, a lot of people think equanimity means like you'll hear nirvana and samsara are the same. That's another one that drives me nuts. People will be like, oh, having absolutely no mental afflictions and being 3 steps away from Buddhahood is exactly the same as dying in a horrible car crash. It's crazy. That is not what that means, okay? Equanimity does not mean being neutral when bad things are happening to you, okay? Like, if your body hurts, that's bad. If you're going through a divorce, it's painful, okay? If you find out your friend has cancer, that's sad and bad. And having equanimity doesn't mean you're just in a state of no matter what happens. Do the Tankas look like this? You can go on my website. It's dakinigoods.com. If you don't believe me, none of the Buddhas and the Tankas look like this. They're all like, okay, they're really blissed out. Okay. So, what having equanimity means is you're understanding the emptiness of your friends and you're understanding the emptiness of the people you don't like. And you feel the same about both. Okay. That's equanimity. You're understanding the emptiness of both, and then you feel the same about both, which is hopefully the desire to get them both enlightened, which is very difficult in our current political situation. I will not talk more about that, but I think you all know what we're talking about here. Okay. So why should we do the four forces? Anyone have any ideas? Yeah, there's three reasons to do the four forces. The last one is to get bodhicitta. I'll talk about the first two, but first I need a little drink, and also the translators can breathe for a second. Flavia was just making her cat dance, and it was adorable. Do your cat and dog get along? Really? Oh, so cute. I wish I could show you guys Wilbur. He's under the table, and no, she put her kitty away. Can you show them Wilbur you show them Wilbur under the table. You guys should look at Jack's video. I'll show you Wilbur under the table right now.
Yeah.
Wait, you have to put your camera on. Sorry, he has to put his camera on. Wilbur, look at all your friends. Those are your tropos. Yeah. He's like, "Ooh, this is the best day of my life." He's like, I gotta go back to sleep now. Okay. Okay. Wilbur loves Dharma class. Okay. Okay. So the first reason we do the four forces is oh, sorry. And also we were supposed to talk about what was the last one we were supposed to talk? Oh, restraint. It's obvious. I don't need to talk much about restraint force. I promised you I would talk about those last two, but really just don't do it again, okay? There's restraint force, or like I said, make a small, like a, what's it called? Like a reasonable, thank you, a reasonable amount of time that you can restrain yourself from doing the thing. That's it. That's restraint force, okay? So why do we do the four forces? Do you have a, I think there's a slide. So the first reason is we don't understand actions and their consequences. So we don't understand the laws of karma. Like we don't understand like okay, I have an itch. I don't understand what's going to happen as a result of me scratching my back right now. I mean, that's like obvious. We don't understand the subtle workings of karma. But we also don't really understand the grosser workings of karma. And when I say grosser, I don't mean icky. I mean as opposed to subtle. Like if we did, we could just get whatever we wanted and we'd all be enlightened by now. Okay. So, karma is the very last thing you understand before you become enlightened. So if you don't understand karma, it's okay. Don't, no one, none of us do, okay? The inner workings of karma are just too subtle. They're beyond human comprehension, to be honest. So we have to depend on the word of the Buddha to understand karma at all. And this isn't like a blind faith thing. This is like, well, Buddha seemed to explain everything else perfectly. So probably Buddha was also correct about karma. We don't buy things on blind faith or belief in this system. Okay. Ooh. So the Tibetan is Lende. Say Lende, Ki, Namye, La, Mikeba. Okay. So Lende means karma and its consequences. So that's an important key word that even if you don't want to learn Tibetan, you can just learn that one word, Lende. Karma and its consequences. Okay. So lay is karma, J is short for Drevu, which is result, and there's a prenasal that makes the na sound show up. Okay. The second reason we do the four forces is we may understand karma a bit. Like we understand, if I steal from people, I won't have money in the future. It's obvious. Or if I lie, no one will believe me. Or if I harm life, like if I'm a hunter or something, then I will have a lot of health problems myself. My life will be shorter. That's, something we can kind of understand. But we don't understand what we're supposed to do and what we're supposed to give up. So the implication here is that we are constantly collecting bad karma. You're showing that? Okay. So I'll just teach you the first word here, chungse. Say chungse.
Say.
That means little. Or chung chung is like little, chung chung, or like youngest or something like that. Like yeah, it's a cute word. It sounds like what it means. It means little or tiny. Okay. So we're constantly collecting bad karma. We can't keep ourselves from doing bad karma. We don't understand karma well enough to stop ourselves from making new bad karma. And even if we did, we're just so out of control with our minds that even if we want to stop making bad karma, we can't. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's like so bad. Does anyone else ever have that feeling? Like, man, I've been trying so hard to not make bad karma, and then I lost my temper again today. Like, I had this nice meditation this morning. I committed to like not making any more bad karma. And the first person I met, I got irritated by. It's so frustrating. Why? Because of these three poisons running through us. Okay. So that's why we have to do the four powers because we can't, we just can't, like Wilbur can't stop himself from like chasing a guy on a motorcycle. We can't stop he literally can't. We can't stop ourselves from making bad karma. And that's why we need the four powers. Okay. And if you work hard at purification, you will notice changes in your life. It's like I said a few classes ago, it's um sometimes the changes to your mind are like they happen over, a long period of time. And then not only do you lose the habit maybe of like judging people harshly, but you also lose the karma to remember that you ever used to judge people harshly. So you lose the tendency, but you also lose the memory that you were that person. It's very interesting. Um, the seed just goes away. So, but it doesn't mean like you do the four forces for 3 days and then everything changes. It ongoing practice, like I said, do it 2 or 3 times a week continuously. Don't like just sometimes people get like a little addictive, like a little addicted towards their practice. And what I mean by that is they'll practice for like 10 hours in one day. or, they'll do 3 days where they're doing, someone just nodded at me. They'll do this like hardcore practice for 3 days and then they burn out. And then it's a month before they get back to meditating or doing their yoga again. So it's better to have a sustained shorter practice that you can keep over a long period of time versus a short, intense burst that you can't sustain. I mean, ideally, you could do like intense practice every day, but that's difficult and it requires, obviously we have jobs, we have commitments, we have families. It's hard to do 10 hours of practice a day. It's better to do a shorter practice that you can maintain over a long time. So if you've been doing purification for 3 days and nothing has changed, that you should not have expected anything to change in 3 days. Okay. Like 6 months is a good amount of time. And you'll have dreams. A lot of times you'll have dreams when you fixed a karma that you're like floating in the air or you're flying. Or this is gross, but you'll dream that blood is coming out, or pee is coming out, or poop is coming out, or vomit is coming out. And those are very wonderful dreams. They're disgusting, but they're wonderful, and they mean that your purification is working. Okay. Okay. So now that we've collected the conducive causes for bodhicitta, what are some nice things we can do after we clean out all the bad stuff? Now we're into the happy portion of class. Yay. Okay. So the first thing that we want to do after we do our confessing, can anyone guess what it is? So we did our prostrations and our refuge and our bodhicitta, and we did our prostrations, we did our refuge, we did our offerings, we did our confession. This should start sounding familiar to you guys. What comes after confession? Rejoicing! Yay! Does anyone notice a pattern? Yay! What's the pattern? Where have you heard this before? Yes, they're also the preliminaries to meditation by coincidence. Interesting, isn't it? Someone could, oh no, did I lose? Oh, you guys are here. Okay, I thought you went away. Someone could do a PhD dissertation on why Shantideva's list for bodhicitta is the same as the preliminaries to meditation. Mm. Okay. So rejoicing. Do we have things about rejoicing? Oh, let's show that lady. No, we don't have a slide for it. Let's show that lady. No, we're not there. Show the lady. Oh yeah, it is that one. Yeah, show that slide with the happy lady. There's a happy lady coming, I promise. There she is. Yay. Okay, she's rejoicing. I thought it looked like she was yawning, but my friend said that she does look like she's rejoicing. So, I'll give you, so I'll just read this to you. Gewa la Jesu yirongwa. Gewa la Jesu yirongwa. Gewa is virtue, and like yirongwa is rejoicing. Okay, so your first level of rejoicing is to take joy in good things that you and other people are doing. So anything good that you or anyone else is doing to get to a higher realm in particular, or to like stay as a human. So these are mostly the 10 good deeds. Do you guys know the 10 good deeds? I think some of you are new, so we can go through them. So protecting life, protecting people's stuff, protecting people's relationships, kind words, using your speech like usefully, um, bringing people together with your words. What am I forgetting? Honest speech, like being truthful with your words, being happy when people get things they want, being unhappy when people don't get what they want. And what's the last one?
Yeah.
Correct view. Good. Okay. So this really pertains to people doing these 10 deeds. And if you hang out around a Dharma center, hopefully you'll see people doing these things and you can be happy about people keeping their morality. Or, if you see people being nice, people being nice to animals or people volunteering their time or people giving money away or anything like that, you can be happy about it because they're planting the seeds to be born in a high realm. Okay. Then the next one we can rejoiceful. The next thing you can rejoice for is things that get you or other people to nirvana. So this especially pertains to removing bad thoughts. What? No, you don't have that one. So the most powerful thing would be seeing emptiness directly. So if you happen to know someone miraculously who saw emptiness directly, you could rejoice for that all the time. Yulia, I wish you could see Yulia's face right now. She's like, Uh, yeah, I think Yulia is rejoicing right now for that. I rejoice for Yulia's rejoicing. You can rejoice for my rejoicing, for Yulia's rejoicing. Good luck, translators. Um, so if you ever hear that someone saw emptiness directly and they happen to be a person you believe that saw emptiness directly, you can rejoice for them. And it's very interesting. The scriptures say we get exactly 10% of the good karma that other people plant when you rejoice for them. So, for example, if you rejoiced for an Arya seeing emptiness directly, then you would get 10% of that karma, which is like an insane amount of karma. So that's something easy just to do anytime you have nothing else to do with your mind. And then the last rejoicing here is to be happy about things that get people totally enlightened. So you can just like be happy that Buddhas exist and be happy that they're doing so many cool things. And it's all in the reading, and you can do the reading. And I'll be honest, the commentary is by Gyaltsab, and the reading is hard. The Gyaltsab commentary is difficult. But interestingly, the root text by Master Shantideva is quite a bit easier to understand. So I'm not saying ignore Gyaltsab because that would be insane, but maybe you could just read it for the blessing, but I would focus more for once on the root text. It's a lot easier and faster to understand. Okay. Oh, Nelly, I have a lot to go in 21 minutes. Fun. Okay. Um, so another thing we want to do after we've confessed and we've rejoiced is we want to ask holy beings to teach the Dharma. So teachers aren't supposed to teach, as I've mentioned, unless you ask them to. And traditionally, you would ask them to teach 3 times. And the mandala at the beginning of class is a substitute for asking the teacher to teach, which is why I insist on the mandala, because no one asked me to teach this course. I just thought it would be fun. So my trick here is to make you do the mandala. So I'm legally allowed to teach this class, even though no one asked me to teach it. Yeah, so the Tibetan is Chuki Korlo Korwar Kulwa. So when you say turning the wheel of the Dharma, that just means you're encouraging someone to teach, okay? So traditionally, you would ask 3 times, and the first 2 times the Lama would ignore you or say they have no time or say no. And then the third time, hopefully, they would say yes. They don't always, but you can try. And don't feel sad if they say no the first 2 times. And then the higher the teachings you get into, the more important it becomes that you request the teacher properly to teach the Dharma. And that when you're in the class, you try to listen as well as you can to what the teacher's saying, because otherwise they get distracted and thrown off their topic. So when you get to the higher teachings, it becomes very important that you ask properly, okay? Um, and then with the right motivation, and you don't just say something like, we can have class today. I'm available for a class today. I'm here if you want to give me a class. You can give me a class today. That would be considered very inappropriate in the higher teachings, or even the lower teachings, which could be the higher teachings if you had the karma anyway. But you really want to properly go to a teacher and properly request that they teach you. Um, what does it mean to properly ask a teacher to teach you? Anyone have any ideas? You could offer a mandala, but we're in the West and we don't, but a mandala is good. Yulia is going like this, like you would go to them with your hands together. But you can offer this thing with your fingers and your hands can be together, but your mind might not be doing this. So it's important you understand what the teacher is giving you. I would say you understand the value of what they're giving you. You understand the value of their time. You understand that the Buddha Dharma is precious and that you are insanely lucky to even have access to someone who has these teachings to begin with. We kind of take it for granted now because we can just go on the portal and or on, the knowledge base and honestly, there's so many ACI teachers now, like not too hard to find someone to teach you. That's a miracle. And then when you ask someone, you should ask them properly and understand, even on a mundane level, it's a lot of work for a teacher to teach you or to take even bigger work to take you as a student. So be appropriate and be proper and, bring them a cookie or something. Like Geshe-la always says, don't go laktong. What's lakpa? Yeah, don't go, tong is empty, laka is hand. Don't go empty-handed when you ask a teacher for a teaching. Like bring them a flower or something for God's sakes, okay? Because it's meaningful. Like if you go to pick up a girl for a date, I don't know, I never had a guy bring me flowers for a date. I also don't think I ever went on a proper date, but like in on TV, the guy always shows up with flowers. Be like that, okay? When you request a teaching. And also, the teacher doesn't have to be, we all know the teacher doesn't have to be like an old Asian guy in a robe sitting up on a stage or something. The teacher can always look very different than you expected the teacher to look. And then you should be on the lookout for those people who may come in a form that's different than what you were expecting. And when you're on the lookout like that, you're planting the seed for more and more like angel teachers to appear to you. So if you're like if your life has gotten a little boring, like it usually happens around 30, some of the magic wears out because you're not dealing with last life seeds anymore. Now you're dealing with this life seeds. Stuff might get a little ordinary. Maybe things were magical when you were a teenager or in your 20s, and now you're in your 30s or 40s, and it seems like the magic is fading a little bit. So, a cure to that really is to be looking around for messages, like secret messages, and looking for the angels. Mr. Rogers, this guy on American TV, used to say, look for the helpers. So I would say look around for the angel teachers. Like you might get a teaching from someone very unexpected in a very unexpected place. And it's really cool and magical and fun when those things start to happen. Okay. So just let your mind and your heart be open to like whoever the teacher could be. Maybe even the silly dog under my table. Like anytime Wilbur sees us, it's like the best thing he ever happened. And he sees us like 5 times a day. And it's like a lesson to me that I don't have to be so grumpy. And I feel so good whenever like Wilbur's ears are going like this because he's so excited. And shouldn't I be a person that makes other people feel that way when I see them? So the teachings can come anywhere, okay? Hmm. And then the karma to have a teacher, like to have like a video, like a YouTube video or an audio clip, or be on Zoom, or like to get a live teaching with a teacher, especially someone like Geshe Michael or other big teachers. Um, it's an incredibly expensive karma. Like you spent so much money even to just come to my class. It is so much money, and not because I'm special, but just because the Buddha Dharma is so precious. It's a very expensive karma, okay? So they say that being in front of a human speaking the Dharma for 1 minute requires thousands of good deeds. So, like, we just burned up, like, I don't know, a lot, thousands and thousands of good deeds in this last hour. And, so keeping a Dharma teacher in your life is very difficult. They're very slippery. Lamas are slippery, okay? Um, Especially to keep an authentic Dharma teacher in your life it's difficult, okay? And it's extremely rare. And it's extremely rare because I don't think any of us know that many people. Forget about a close relationship with a teacher, but just to have a teacher and to be interested in these things is extremely rare. Um, and that's why, lamas can pass away very easily. Okay. So, so we really want to pray that our lamas stay with us. And this is number 3. Okay. So after we ask the holy beings to teach the Dharma, we request them to stay with us. And theoretically, the lama can stay with us as long as they want. Okay. And they say you're requesting the teacher not to pass into nirvana because we don't believe that the lamas can actually die. We believe they're Buddhas anyway. So they couldn't die, but they can disappear from our view. Okay. So everyone say Nyangen, Le, Mindewar, Soandep. Okay. There's a prenasal, you'll see Sowadep, but there's a prenasal sound, so it should always be Soandep. Yeah, okay. So the key word here is Nyangin. So that's nirvana. Well, Nyangyen Ledepa it's Nyangyen Ledepa is nirvana. Okay, that's your keyword. Nyangyen Ledepa. And Sowandep is like you're requesting. Okay, so not Sowadep, Sowandep. Okay. So, we had a teacher die last year. We had his ashes, you can't see that the bones, they're on the shelf. You can't see, I blurred it. But the bones, some of the bones are on the shelf behind me. And me and Jack have gone to a lot of holy places. And it was Geshe Lotar, if any of you know. Almost it's been a year now. And we went to a lot of holy places and left some of his ashes and his bones there. And, you know, he was there. I was talking to him. And then he got a stomach ache. And like 3 days later, he was dead. Dead. Okay. And what did Geshe Lotar do after he left his body? After he passed away, after his heart stopped? Do any of you know what he did after his heart stopped? He stayed in meditation for 9 days. The stuff didn't come out of his body for 9 days. His body was warm for 9 days. His body didn't start to decompose for 9 days because he was in something called tukdam. So he was meditating, and people dismissed Geshe Lothar. He was a little cranky. He was a lot cranky. Sometimes he was silly. He didn't seem like a big scholar, but he was a very, very deep Vajrayogini practitioner. And to be able to stay in the body like that for 9 days is a miracle. And it was very amazing for us to witness this, and very rare. But it's weird, the lamas, they tend to pass away between like 81 and 83. And then if they survive those years, then they tend to live to about 100. It's very amazing, actually. But if you guys are curious, I don't have time to talk about Tukdam, but you can Google it, and there's been like scientific articles written on it, and it's extremely interesting. So we really want to pray that our lamas will stay with us, okay? And you don't always have to like, please stay, please stay, please stay. I mean, you should. Anytime you see your teacher, you should say, please stay. And you'll hear us older students doing it. But like, you can even do it mentally. And, hopefully your lama can read your mind anyway. But it is good to verbally ask because it humbles you, and it shows that it proves to yourself that you have the faith that they can choose to stick around. Okay. And then the karma of wanting your lama to stick around plants the seed for them to live longer. Okay. Oh, I'm going to run out of time. All right. So the fourth one here is dedication. I'm going to talk more about this next class because it's important. And I know you guys have to go to work and stuff, and I don't think I can get it done in 8 minutes. So dedication is called Gewangoa. Everyone say Gewangoa. Gewangoa. Yeah, so that means to dedicate your virtue or dedicate your merit. So this is putting your good karma in the bank for enlightenment, like I talked about earlier, rather than cashing it in for something small. And if you don't dedicate your merit, it can be destroyed by bad deeds that you do. So you want to put it in the bank and not like throw your seeds on the ground and let the wind take them away. Okay. So there's 4 types of dedication, and I'll go through it quickly, and we can spend more time on it next week. The first one is a general dedication. And I chose that photo because she's like holding the earth and her hands, and she's like the savior of the earth, and that's like Bodhisattva, and I thought it was neat. Okay. So the first one is general dedication. So, like, may all beings become enlightened by this deed. So you do something nice. You like make sure your dog got home safely, or you fed your child. And it seems like things that Cherry's like, well, of course I fed my child. What kind of human do you think I am? But it's a kindness to feed another human being. And we have to, as bodhisattvas, get out of this mindset of like, of course I fed my child. There are people who didn't feed their children today. And we want to get out of samsara as fast as possible. So feeding your child can become a cause for enlightenment for both you and your child. Okay. So I'm feeding my baby today. I'm giving my baby milk today so that all beings can become enlightened by this deed. By this virtue, may all beings become enlightened as quickly as possible. Okay, that's one way to do a dedication. You can dedicate the deed to helping sick people. That's a second. The third is I dedicate this so that no one goes hungry or thirsty today, so that everyone has enough food to eat. I almost said enough food to drink, enough food to eat, and enough water to drink. Number 4 is I dedicate this so people get whatever they want. I'm feeding my kid today so that kids around the world can get every toy they ever wanted. I'm feeding my kid today so all my friends in Dharma class can find their teacher as quickly as possible. Don't just do a deed and forget to dedicate it. It's a waste of your time. You get a little residual karma, but if you wonder why things aren't moving in your Dharma life, you're either not purifying correctly, you're not rejoicing, or you're not dedicating. So if you're not a Buddha yet, and I don't know, maybe you're all Buddhas, you don't need to do it. If you're not a Buddha yet, do your confession. What else do you need to do? Do your rejoicing. Do your dedicating. Um, And then another one here is it's called generosity or surrender. So this is a total willingness to give up everything you have for other people. So we get to the point as a bodhisattva where you'd give up your eyes for a person, you'd give up your body, you'd give up all the things you own, you'd give up all your goodness for the sake of other people. What's the opposite of rejoicing? Just curious, you guys know. It's not rejoicing, no. I would think it was ill will, but Master Shantideva says that the opposite of rejoicing is jealousy. So jealousy, we all have it. I used to say I'm not a jealous person. Then I became a jealous person, and it is disgusting. It's like so shameful because here we are making a promise. Olga's like, yeah, I understand. It's not because you're jealous, because you understand the logic. I made a promise to help all beings get what they want. And that poor bastard over there got exactly what he wanted, and I'm mad about it. And I want it for myself. It's so gross. And we obviously all have it, or it wouldn't be in those top 10 of like bad deeds. Okay. So we really fight the jealousy thing. Just, one thing that helps me when I feel jealous is I think about the person suffering and I think about like all the things they don't have in their life. And then I want to give them that thing that they got that I wanted for myself. And I personally, just for myself, that has been a good antidote for me for jealousy. Okay, I wanted to just read you some of these verses because they're really nice. And then I would encourage you to meditate on these verses in the reading this week. Through performing all these activities, great goodness have I gathered. I pray that by this virtue, the pain of every single living creature may be removed. I pray as well that I may become the medicine and the physician, as well as nurses, for all who are sick until the day they are cured. I pray that a shower of food and drink may fall, and that when the eon of famine arrives, I may become food and drink as well. I pray that I may become myself a great treasure house, one that can never be exhausted for all living beings who are poor and lack. May I become too anything they need or want, an entire range of the different necessities for life, and so appear to their very eyes. So you can meditate on that. That's a nice way to do dedication. You could memorize them or just try to think about them as you do your good deeds. I think Jack is going to put this in the chat, but it's in your reading, so you can also just get it from your. Oh, I'm putting it in the chat from my computer. But you know what? I think I won't because I'm gonna sign off here and you won't have time. It's in your reading. Just go to the reading. Um, and then about the homework, if you have questions, you can email me. I know some of the wording in the homework. I do answer everything in class, but I answer it differently than the question is asked. So sometimes maybe, especially for new students, it can be confusing. So Jack, can you put my email in the chat? You can either email me or if you're on the Telegram chat, you can you can write in the Telegram chat and I can answer you. Or if there's, Flavia probably knows the answers as well, but she's busy. But anyone, we can all try to answer the questions, or I can try to answer the questions. And it's good to do the reading and good to do the homework because it forces you to review. I made it. Okay. I'm sorry. I wanted to take English today. I'm so sorry. I didn't want to take English today. I don't know English anymore. Studying another language, I've lost my English. I wanted to take questions today in English or any other language, but we're out of time. So if you have questions, you can email me or put them in the Telegram chat and we can answer them. Uh, that's it. Thank you for coming. Let's do just a quick dedication. You can be the medicine, you can dedicate it to being the water, you can dedicate this class to everyone becoming a Buddha. You can choose what you're gonna dedicate to. And you can think by the emptiness of this class and the emptiness of me and the emptiness of listening to this class, may I become for all beings. Okay, thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you, especially translators and tech team. And we'll see you next week. Bye. And happy Chinese New Year and Tibetan New Year to everybody as well. See you.